Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. I'm Tammy Devine. Our top story, we've introduced you a couple years ago to Robin Carlson here at CCN Crown City News, a local woman battling cancer. Her friends rallied around her to help raise money for her medical treatments. Now, Robin's cancer, though it's never completely vanished, is now worse than ever. She's at stage 4. And of course, with the terrible news comes even higher medical bills. She'll tell you her friends have always been there for her. This time, they're putting together a comedy fundraiser, keeping in mind that maybe laughter might be the best medicine for all of them right now. CCN's Connie Tran has the story.
I met a local woman whose personal struggle with cancer has inspired members of her community to come together and fight in unity.
Well, I got diagnosed about 5.5 years ago with stage 4 endometrial clear cell adenocarcinoma. That's the official name.
Robin Carlson tackles the obstacles cancer brings every day. After her diagnosis, she faced even more disappointments.
Sometimes I think I'm going to turn this corner and another corner comes up.
Then things went from bad to worse.
Unfortunately, when I first started that chemo, my brother got into an accident and died. So it was so emotionally traumatic that my focus was more on the loss of my brother. And 11 chemos is just going to be, I'll just deal with it.
Robin went through chemotherapy and ablation, a procedure that removes the lining of the uterus. Still, more tumors showed up.
Now I'm dealing with one that is inoperable. It's the size of a grapefruit. It's pressing down on my stomach, and it's causing a lot of issues.
Through her pain, Robin finds strength in the love and support she receives from her community. Some of Robin's closest friends are helping her raise money for her expensive treatments. They're throwing her a comedy show and a silent auction benefit.
When you contribute to her, you don't just feel like you made a difference to Robin. You know you made a difference to all the people that Robin touches. And that's moving for me.
All the proceeds from next month's event will go to Robin as she continues radiation.
This is for me an opportunity to break through, break just a tiny little window of hope for future cancer patients. And so my biggest fear is that I leave without accomplishing that. That's my biggest fear.
Robin, I love you, and I cannot imagine my life without having known you. And, we're going to keep fighting this thing.
The comedy show benefit and silent auction for Robin Carlson will take place on Saturday, October 16th in Los Angeles at the New Center for Psychoanalysis. In Los Feliz, Connie Tran, CCN.
There are ways to help Robin if you'd like to get involved. You can send an email to robinfund@gmail.com. That's ROBIN, robinfund, FUND, @gmail.com. What a courageous woman and what a great group of friends she has, that's for sure. Medical marijuana is something those suffering different illnesses can legally use in California. Now, Proposition 19 on the November ballot makes marijuana use legal for anyone over 21. Where do you stand on this issue? CCN's Desiree Rose brings a series of reports about this, and we start this week with what those in favor say are good reasons to legalize the drug.
On November 2nd, California voters will be going to the polls. On the ballot will be Proposition 19, a bill that makes it legal for all persons of at least 21 years of age to possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana. The bill is causing a lot of heated controversy. Proponents say it will generate some much-needed revenue for the state, while opponents warn it will compromise our safety.
You know what the largest cash crop is today in the state of California? It is
marijuana.
Marijuana. Number 2 is grapes.
Retired Judge James Gray is a member of LEAP, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, an agency that works to repeal America's drug laws. As an enthusiastic supporter of Proposition 19, he says there are plenty of reasons to legalize marijuana.
We're facing two substantial problems, and one is drug harms, and I'm not minimizing them. I think that the drugs can be harmful, can be dangerous, can be addictive, but the second is drug money harm, and that by far is a much worse problem than the drugs will ever be.
Those who support this bill say revenue will come from taxing the sale of marijuana. They say it'll also keep law enforcement from wasting millions of dollars targeting marijuana consumers, and that it'll reduce the number of people in prisons and jails incarcerated for nonviolent drug offenses.
It's here. Let's recognize that fact. And we're having Proposition 19 on the ballot this November. And I certainly hope that you and your viewers give serious consideration to supporting it, because it's going to be sold anyway.
We'll know for sure November 2nd. Desiree Rose, CCN.
Looking for more information about Prop 19 and other propositions on the November ballot, you should have received a sample ballot that explains all of them. But if you're like me and you lose things, you can find it online at lavote.net. That's lavote.net. And also CCN's Desiree Rose has her own show right here on the Arroyo channel called Stand Up and Scream. There you can get a more in-depth look at her CCN stories on Stand Up and Scream. And for show times for that, just visit standupandscream.net. Standupandscream.net. Great name for a show, isn't it? All right, now here's a snapshot of some other stories this past week right here in the San Gabriel Valley. First, Arcadia police have arrested a man they say burglarized half a dozen homes during the last 4 to 5 months in Arcadia and West Covina. Police say 46-year-old Edward Leroy Jones of Pasadena broke into the homes and stole jewelry, electronics, and Asian collectibles. West Covina police were first tipped off that Jones may have been the burglar through DNA evidence. Then they soon realized that he may have been responsible for some Arcadia burglaries as well. He bonded out of jail in West Covina, and when Arcadia police went to arrest him, they found him removing property from a storage unit. Authorities say they recovered some stolen property from the unit and from Jones's home, and that they're working to return it to the rightful owners. Jones is in jail in Arcadia on $500,000 bail. Hundreds turned out for a free health fair that took place this past Saturday at Jackie Robinson Center. All kinds of things took place there. There were free screenings of all kinds for anyone who needed them, including eye exams, hearing tests, and HIV tests. The Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and a number of other businesses, nonprofits, and lawmakers sponsored the event. Organizers say they were happy with the turnout.
Wonderful. It's been a constant flow of traffic throughout the day. HIV testing had to open up inside because they were flooded so much. They've done over 30 tests today. We ran out of flu shots. Hearing test is just, they're probably at 40, 50 hearing tests with a line still waiting.
And of course, those folks are taken care of. Organizers are already looking ahead to next year's event. What a great thing to have in the community there. All right, a local after-school program teaches winning on and off the court in CCN weather when CCN meteorologist Curtis Peak comes back. That's coming up next on CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. Don't go away.